1. Judas Iscariot. As one of Jesus' 12 apostles, Judas was trusted and close to him. Yet, he chose to betray Jesus to the Roman authorities for 30 pieces of silver. This act led to Jesus' arrest, crucifixion, and ultimately, the founding event of Christianity. Judas' motivations have been debated for centuries. Was it greed? Disillusionment? Or a misguided attempt to force Jesus into action? Some even suggest it was part of a divine plan. Whatever the reason, Judas' actions highlight the complexity of human nature and the thin line between loyalty and betrayal. His subsequent regret and suicide add another layer to this tragic tale. Judas' name has become synonymous with treachery, serving as a cautionary tale about the consequences of betraying those closest to us. His story raises profound questions about free will, predestination, and the nature of forgiveness. 2. Benedict Arnold. Benedict Arnold's name has become shorthand for traitor in American culture. Initially a hero of the American Revolution, Arnold's journey from patriot to turncoat is a study in the complexities of human motivation. As a general in the Continental Army, Arnold showed great courage and tactical skill, playing a crucial role in several important victories. However, a combination of factors, including resentment over lack of recognition, financial troubles, and disagreements with colonial leaders, led him to switch sides. He attempted to surrender West Point to the British, a plan that was only foiled by chance. Arnold's betrayal shocked the young nation and has been seen as one of the most damaging acts of treason in American history. His story serves as a reminder that even heroes can fall, and that loyalty and patriotism can be fragile things. It also highlights the personal costs of war and the blurry lines between idealism and self-interest in times of conflict. Click subscribe to this channel to get more topics you love. 3. Brutus. Marcus Junius Brutus, immortalized in Shakespeare's Julius Caesar, stands as a symbol of the conflict between friendship and perceived duty. Brutus was a close friend and protege of Julius Caesar, yet he became the leader of the conspiracy to assassinate him. His motivations were complex. He feared Caesar's growing power threatened the Roman Republic he loved. Brutus believed he was acting for the greater good, sacrificing his personal loyalty for what he saw as the needs of Rome. This inner conflict makes Brutus a tragic figure. His decision to betray Caesar was not made lightly, and it ultimately led to his own downfall. Brutus' story raises profound questions about the nature of loyalty, the responsibilities of citizenship, and the sometimes blurry line between idealism and betrayal. It reminds us that even actions taken with the best intentions can have disastrous consequences, and that history often judges harshly those who betray their friends, no matter their reasons. 4. Cassius. Gaius Cassius Longinus, often simply known as Cassius, was another key figure in the assassination of Julius Caesar. Unlike Brutus, who was torn by inner conflict, Cassius was more straightforward in his opposition to Caesar. He was driven by a combination of personal resentment and political ideology. Cassius believed that Caesar's increasing power threatened the traditional Roman system of government. He was the primary instigator of the conspiracy, using his persuasive skills to bring others, including Brutus, into the plot. Cassius represents a different kind of betrayal, one born not of conflicted loyalties, but of clear-eyed political calculation. His actions raise questions about the limits of political opposition and the point at which resistance becomes treachery. Cassius' story also highlights the dangers of personal grudges in politics. While he claimed to act for Rome's benefit, his motivations were likely more complex, mixing idealism with personal ambition and resentment. 5. Ephialtes of Trachis. Ephialtes of Trachis played a crucial role in one of history's most famous last stands, the Battle of Thermopylae. During this battle, a small force of Greeks, led by 300 Spartans, held off a massive Persian army at a narrow mountain pass. Ephialtes, a local shepherd, betrayed his countrymen by revealing to the Persians a hidden path that allowed them to outflank the Greek defenders. This act of treachery led to the defeat of the Greek force and the death of the Spartan king Leonidas. Ephialtes' motivations were reportedly simple: he hoped for a reward from the Persian king. His name has become synonymous with traitor in Greek, much like Judas in Christian culture. Ephialtes' betrayal highlights how a single act by an ordinary person can change the course of history. It also raises questions about national loyalty in times of invasion and the moral choices faced by civilians during war. 6. Vidkun Quisling. Vidkun Quisling's name has become synonymous with treason and collaboration with an enemy occupier. As the leader of Norway's fascist party, Quisling actively supported Nazi Germany's invasion of his country in 1940. He then served as a puppet leader under German occupation, implementing Nazi policies and suppressing resistance. Quisling's betrayal was rooted in his extreme right-wing ideology and his belief that cooperation with Nazi Germany was in Norway's best interests. His actions led to the deaths of many Norwegians, particularly Jews who were deported to concentration camps. Quisling's story is a stark reminder of how political extremism can lead to national betrayal. It raises profound questions about the nature of patriotism and the dangers of putting ideology above the welfare of one's own people. After the war, Quisling was tried, convicted of high treason, and executed. His name entered several languages as a term for a traitor, showing how deeply his betrayal resonated beyond Norway's borders. 7. Guy Fawkes. Guy Fawkes is a figure whose attempted betrayal has paradoxically made him an icon of resistance. As part of the Gunpowder Plot of 1605, Fawkes attempted to blow up the House of Lords in London to assassinate King James I and restore a Catholic monarch to the throne. This act of planned violence against the Protestant English government was seen as high treason. Fawkes was caught, tortured, and executed. However, his image has undergone a fascinating transformation over the centuries. From being burned in effigy on November 5 in England, Fawkes has become a symbol of resistance against tyranny, particularly after the graphic novel and film V for Vendetta. This evolution raises intriguing questions about how society views acts of political violence and how the perception of betrayal can change over time. Fawkes' story also highlights the complex interplay between religion and politics, and how conflicts between the two can lead individuals to extreme actions. 8. Mir Jafar. Mir Jafar's betrayal played a crucial role in the British East India Company's conquest of Bengal, marking a turning point in the history of the Indian subcontinent. As the commander of the Bengali army, Mir Jafar secretly allied with the British, agreeing to betray the Nawab of Bengal, Siraj-ud-Daulah, during the Battle of Plassey in 1757. His treachery led to a decisive British victory, paving the way for British colonial rule in India. Mir Jafar's motivations were largely personal. He was promised the throne of Bengal in exchange for his betrayal. His actions highlight how personal ambition can lead to national catastrophe. In Bengali and Urdu, his name has become synonymous with traitor, much like Judas or Quisling in other cultures. Mir Jafar's story raises profound questions about loyalty, the ethics of political ambition, and the long-term consequences of betrayal for entire nations and cultures. 9. Wang Jingwei. Wang Jingwei's betrayal stands out in Chinese history as a poignant example of collaboration during wartime. Once a close ally of Sun Yat-sen and a prominent figure in the Kuomintang nationalist party, Wang shocked his countrymen by defecting to the Japanese during their invasion of China in World War II. He established a puppet government in Nanjing, claiming to work for peace and prosperity under Japanese protection. Wang's motivations were complex. He argued that cooperation with Japan was the only way to save China from destruction, but many saw him as simply power-hungry or cowardly. His actions split the Chinese resistance and legitimized Japanese occupation. Wang's betrayal raises difficult questions about nationalism, pragmatism, and the moral choices faced by leaders during wartime occupation. It also highlights the thin line between compromise and collaboration, and how history judges those who choose what they see as the lesser evil in impossible situations. 10. Philippe Pétain. Philippe Pétain's journey from national hero to condemned traitor is one of the most dramatic in French history. As a general in World War I, Pétain was hailed as the Lion of Verdun for his defense of that city. However, in World War II, as the leader of Vichy France, he collaborated with Nazi Germany after France's defeat. Pétain claimed he was shielding France from the worst effects of German occupation, but his government actively assisted in the deportation of Jews and the suppression of the resistance. His betrayal was seen as especially painful given his former hero status. Pétain's story raises profound questions about the nature of loyalty in desperate times, the limits of pragmatism in the face of evil, and how a leader's decisions can tarnish a lifetime of service. It also highlights the complex moral choices faced by occupied nations and the lasting scars that collaboration can leave on a country's psyche. 11. Alcibiades. Alcibiades, an Athenian statesman and general during the Peloponnesian War, embodies the complexity of loyalty in ancient Greek politics. Known for his charisma, brilliance, and ambition, Alcibiades repeatedly switched sides between Athens, Sparta, and Persia. Initially a protege of Socrates and a leader in Athens, he fled to Sparta when accused of sacrilege, offering military advice against his home city. Later, he betrayed Sparta for Persia, then returned to Athens, only to be exiled again. Alcibiades' shifting loyalties were driven by personal ambition and survival instinct rather than ideology. His story raises profound questions about the nature of patriotism and the conflict between personal interest and civic duty. It also highlights the volatile nature of ancient Greek politics and the thin line between political maneuvering and outright betrayal. Alcibiades' life serves as a cautionary tale about the dangers of unchecked ambition and the consequences of prioritizing personal gain over collective welfare. 12. Robert Hanssen. Robert Hanssen's betrayal stands as one of the most damaging cases of espionage in U.S. history. As an FBI agent, Hanssen sold thousands of classified documents to the Soviet Union and later Russia over a 22-year period. His motivations were complex, involving financial gain, ego, and a twisted sense of intellectual challenge. Hanssen's betrayal was particularly devastating because of his high-level access and his ability to avoid detection for so long. He compromised numerous U.S. intelligence operations and sources, leading to the deaths of several Soviet agents working for the U.S. Hanssen's case raises profound questions about the nature of loyalty, the effectiveness of security measures, and the psychological factors that can lead a person to betray their country. It also highlights the ongoing challenges of counterintelligence in a world where information is an increasingly valuable commodity. Hanssen's story serves as a sobering reminder of the potential for betrayal even within organizations dedicated to national security.